Good afternoon, ladies. Your lips look kissable.
I put some plumper on. I did some plumper.
Yeah, they look great.
Yeah, I actually was like, I need a tingle this morning. I'm a little tired from traveling back from Chicago, Michigan. I was like, let's tingle my lips.
Well, they look kissable, if you know what I mean, with all the kissing in the news.
So appropriate, Jenny. What a great transition from our tingling lips to kissable or kiss cams or a story that just won't die in the news. No matter what, every day that I think it's over, bang, there's another story about it. The Coldplay moment. I mean, the best memes I've ever seen.
Right? It's like a real life soap opera that just won't stop with all the twists and turns.
And it's the gift that keeps giving because all these major companies have jumped on board to try to use it to their advantage and make jokes. Granted, I do want to say, and I think we all feel the same way, that it is really unfortunate to see a family be torn apart. And I'm sure that the repercussions for that family and the innocent people in that family that have to be, victimized by social media. But this story, it's blowing my mind. So we decided today that we were going to jump in and talk about, is this gross oversight or not?
Right.
Because oversight is when we sometimes unintentionally, right, don't notice something could be problematic. I mean, I think it's a really hot topic in the news, and I think we've all seen both sides. There are people who are like, yes, more cameras, catch the cheaters. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. And with AI too, I mean,
With AI, yep.
they can scan the pictures and find out who it is. And is the gross oversight on the part of the
AI.
public, or the
Right.
posting of that information? Or do you just have a gross oversight when you forget you're in a public place? Like, what is
Is it the individual who went to the concert and not understanding that they're not noticing that I put myself in a public place? I mean, we've all gone to concerts and seen signs that said this is being filmed, right?
Right.
And then they have, wide releases. So it's an interesting topic, to just discuss. And that's what we're going to do today. But I do think that at the end of the day, it's so debatable because I think even with AI, and I love that you brought that up, Jenny. My daughter went to camp, as you know, for 4 weeks.
Right.
And the camp had basically AI is how you would be able to find your kid's face.
Oh, wow.
So all the pictures that were being taken, you could put in her name or whatever, and it knew the facial recognition, right? To say, here are all your camp photos in one place. So while we're using these tools every day and saying this is amazing, there's another side to this. That if you're going to be going out in public where you won't be found, there's nowhere to hide anymore.
I think most people know that when you go to a concert or to a sporting event, the kiss cam is like a tradition.
Right.
So you should just be on guard. You should know that the kiss cam is going to happen.
Right.
You can't be creeping in private anymore, people.
Mhm.
There's no more, and I creep. Yeah, there's no more creeping.
Right. And also, I mean, at concerts, I don't know how often there is a camera in the audience of that effect. And I think I read that was like the first time they really did something like this. But it is true, Molly, what you're saying. Like, you go to arenas anywhere. Hey, look, it's how Pamela Anderson was discovered.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Whether it's a kiss cam or a fan cam or whatever it might be. So it's interesting because now there's this big debate, and there are people who are like, well, there needs to be some responsibility, and everybody wants to look for someone to sue.
Right.
So that's the other end of it. And, you feel bad for Coldplay and Chris because I think that they have this heavy weight, about the whole situation as well. Right. So we decided that we were going to look at the idea of gross oversight in the situation and explore it, but we were going to bring an expert on, right?
We are.
Somebody in the industry who has been there to build the careers of these artists, because that's a big part of it too, right? Where does the responsibility fall on the artist? Does it all, right?
Right.
Yeah. Especially with social media turning on you overnight or celebrating you overnight. There's a whole that aspect to it. So we wanted today to bring on somebody who has the inside scoop of what the music industry might be thinking right now.
Yes.
Someone who has built careers, has collaborated with big artists, who has definitely packed the arenas and knows what that pressure is like, and also knows what the pressure of social media is, the good and the bad, and how it can grow an artist or tear an artist down, and all the kind of good things. So today we're very excited to bring on T.I Ken, who is an Atlanta music icon. His fingerprints have been all over the South's most influential hip hop and R&B artists, including CeeLo Green, Big Boy,
Yes.
and Outkast.
Yes, and among others, Killer Mike, Goody Mob, Youngbloods, Organized Noise, Jeezy, T.I, and Akon. And everyone that knows about the history of the Southeast rap will know that he is one of the founding members of the Attic Crew. So Pretty Ken, aka Ken Stokes, is responsible for a lot of these artists' careers, and he has the foresight to see a lot of these things that we're talking about. So
and building them from scratch from the beginning to the end, and how important the audience, the trust of the audience too, right, along the way is in building these artists. So I'm really curious to see what his point of view is going to be, because we've heard a lot of people in the sports arena side of things are very afraid, like, do not cancel the kiss cam. But then there's question of what is the liability? Like, I mean, they're going to have to get releases for people when they walk in. Like, you have an
right.
automatic, when you buy your ticket, there's an automatic release. So you might be on the kiss cam or the fan cam. Like, I don't know. But from the music perspective, I'm curious. I want to know what the buzz has been behind the scenes.
I do too, and I can guarantee you that he's going to have a lot to say. So I would love to introduce everyone to my friend Ken Stokes, aka Pretty Ken. Hey, it's Ken. Welcome, Ken, to the
Wow.
show.
What's
Welcome,
up,
Ken. We're so
Janae?
excited.
APK.
How you doing, Janae? Molly?
Hey.
How y'all
We're
doing
so
today?
good to see you.
Oh, gross. The drama's about to end, 'cause gross. Stop asking for a friend, taboos. Icky's what we do, it's just science. Yeah, it's not so weird. You're gross out, Johnny starts right here on Oh, gross.
We are so excited to have you on and hear your perspective. But first, we have to hear how you know Jennie and Molly.
Can I just say this one thing first? I don't feel so made up. Why I don't look so pretty? Why I don't look pretty as y'all?
You're Pretty Ken.
You're Pretty Ken. You already got the pretty.
I mean, come on. You got the smile, Pretty Ken.
Yeah.
He does.
Let's see. How do I know Janae?
We go way back.
Way back. Yeah, Jenny.
Way back.
Studio rat. She used to hang out in the studio.
I was a studio rat. See, I was doing hooks for free to try to get my name out there. And Ken and I were in the studio together. I mean, way back probably in the late 90s,
Yeah.
very early 2000s
we
when we
definitely
first
took
met.
advantage of you. Yeah.
We did. We did. But Ken put me on a Jeezy album.
Yeah.
And I sang the hook in one of Jeezy's songs. And I have to tell you that we were friends from the very first second. In fact, we would cut up so much and laugh so hard. They would have to separate us and like make him leave the control room because I would be laughing my butt off.
We were definitely the bad kids.
Yeah, y'all weren't friends. Y'all were trouble.
Yeah, we
It
definitely
wasn't
were.
just friendship. It was straight up trouble.
Yeah, we
in
were
the
definitely
booth.
the bad kids. No doubt
You're
about
right.
that.
Right.
Absolutely. How y'all doing, man?
We're good.
Got such a cool podcast going.
Thank you.
Aw, we love that. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, Ken, because you know, on our podcast, we talk about the idea of gross.
Right.
You know, that it shouldn't be gross. We should be able to talk about all things that fall under gross.
Absolutely.
And today we're talking about the idea of gross oversight and the story that just won't die in the press. No matter what happens,
Right.
every morning I wake up and there's a new meme or some company's doing something. There's another aspect of the story about what happened at the Coldplay concert. And Jennie brought up a really good point. She was like, when we look at this story, is it gross oversight for there to be a camera, right? Is there a responsibility for the venue or the concert promoters? Is there responsibility for the artist? Or she said, is it gross oversight for the people who are attending a public arena to think that they have some form of privacy? So we cannot wait to hear your perspective because you have built so many careers.
Mhm.
You've been part of collaboration with so many huge
Right.
artists. You have been in these arenas. You know from start to finish how this goes down and how in a millisecond, you know, social media can create your career or break your career.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And we are going to ask for your gross moment for sure. But we're curious. We want to jump right into this. We're curious. Tell us, like, what is the insider feeling in the music industry about this story? And what are your personal thoughts?
First of all, it's straight comedy, right? It's so funny. The
Mhm.
deflection is major. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take morals out of it. I'm going to say the question, what has been interesting to me is that, you know, you've got the one side of it, people are saying, great, more cameras everywhere, right? Good he was caught in public. But there's the other side of people saying, well, maybe we should get rid of kiss cams or fan cams? And is there going to be some sort of
No.
like legal release that has to happen when people go to an arena? And that whole thing, to me, forget morals for a second about the cheating. It's like, was there any oversight besides the individuals in this case? What do you think? I mean, in this whole perspective of, was there some responsibility to the artist or the arena that they're going to put a cam on someone, or is the responsibility to the actual audience? You're walking into an arena. How many times have we all seen those signs? You could be filmed, right?
Absolutely.
Well, what's the sense of privacy? I don't know.
People are
And
walking
what-
around with their phones. So, I mean, what do they think?
Right.
Yeah. What is the sense of privacy? And,
Right.
when you have an arena filled with, tens of thousands of people.
Well, here's the real issue. The fact that we sitting here talking about being fair to someone that got caught cheating is a problem.
Right. Thank you.
Is that the oversight?
So
Is
the
that
point-
the oversight?
right.
Yeah.
So the problem is he just needs to be a better cheater. If that's the game he goes and that's what we really need to be talking about. Like, dude, you suck, man.
Yeah.
He does suck.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, in the day and age of phones, I was just saying before you came on, you can't be you can't be creeping anymore with
Right.
people's phones out in public because you're gonna get caught.
But I feel bad because you see that Coldplay and Chris now feel a little guilty. There's been a couple
No.
articles out there, right? I mean, because I heard he's going to cancel doing that. He's not going to do that any more shows, right? He doesn't want to have the camera on anybody, is what I read in one article. I don't know if that's true or not.
But they weren't holding the camera. That's the thing is,
Right.
I mean, it's not the artist's responsibility.
It's the venue.
Yeah.
Is
I
it
mean,
the venue though? What do you think, Ken? Is it even the venue's responsibility? What do you think?
No.
It's the responsibility of the person that's doing wrong.
That's right.
Right.
Like, we can't go from that. Like, how are we making all these excuses?
Right.
Kiss cam is fun. It's a fun
Right.
thing.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If I'm with my girl, I'm looking for the kiss cam. Come over here. Come over
Well,
here.
and sometimes, listen, sometimes the kiss cam lands on a brother and sister and everybody laughs.
Come
You know what I
on.
mean? And they're like, no.
Exactly. Exactly.
And there's fan cams. And we were saying earlier, Pamela Anderson was discovered by these cams.
Come
You
on.
know, it's interesting. And I think what the fear is, like, who can get sued? If somebody wanted to sue for libel because their life is ruined, who can get sued?
Let me just be very clear. This is very white people-ish.
I love you, Ken.
Like, we take our bumps and bruises like a man. Hey,
Right. Right. We're going to find a way out. Is right. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
that's it. Now, bring that call. I'm sorry, baby. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
We're not going
I
to
messed
sue
up.
everybody. We're not going to say, hey, there shouldn't be any cell phones in the parties.
Haven't ticket sales gone up for Coldplay concerts?
Yeah. Well, their downloads have gone up. I've
Their
heard
downloads
exactly.
have gone up. I don't know about their ticket sales. So then during all of this, Ken, I don't know if you saw this or not, 10 days after the Andy Byron and Kristen Cabot Gillette Stadium scandal at the Coldplay concert, Astronomer hires Gwyneth Paltrow and she makes a video.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because she's doing for the company, right?
She's a temporary spokesperson.
She's temporary
Mhm.
spokesperson.
Mhm.
So, okay, at first I was thinking, wow, that's like great because she's supporting her ex. I know that they had an amicable split and that they're still close. What was it? Conscious uncoupling.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And then I recently read an article that there is a tell-all book coming out this week.
Oh.
Written by Amy Odell. And I found an article that said Amy cites several other people who are saying, PR experts, was this a genius PR move to deflect from
Mm-hmm.
this book that Amy has written all about Gwyneth Paltrow, to deflect once again? So this is like this full cycle of like everyone's going back and forth and trying to say like, oh, look over here, shiny, 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 don't look here.
Right.
Mhm. Right.
But it's interesting, either way you spin it. I mean, it's fascinating. Yeah. And she's smart because if you Google Gwyneth Paltrow right now, it is buried finding that book. And I don't know if this is true or not, but it does tell us something about this cycle, right?
Right.
Of what we're living in, the world we live in now, where it's like, well, this is an opportunity, and if I jump on this train or not. But I thought that was really fascinating because at first I was like, oh, look at, she's like, supporting Coldplay. And I was like, then this whole other author comes out and says, well, my tell-all book on her is about to drop, and now no one is paying attention to that.
So what you got to think about it as far as managing artists and being behind the scene. Our job is to direct traffic, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So our job is to put out fires, figure out how to distract people, figure out how to get other things going so you can forget what had just happened over there. You know what I mean? If I was working with her, that's exactly what I would tell her to do. Because
Right. Right.
here's the thing, she's living in the grave right now, right? Nobody can really make a decision about you. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So she's playing it right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's beneficial to her and it's beneficial to the situation.
There you go. There you go.
But I think you bring up a good point too, Ken. Like, it seems like, I mean, social media can be so damning and helpful, right? AI can be damning and helpful, but it's like what I'm hearing from you is that this hasn't changed. It's just
No.
the technology that's changing.
The medium has changed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
This is the beginning of time. Like this.
Right. Yeah.
The cool part is you were able to hide it better.
Right.
And here's the ridiculous part, right? It used to take time for the story to grow
Mm-hmm.
Right.
and turn it to something different.
Not anymore.
10 minutes, it's a totally different story, and it has taken legs and it is gone. And it's
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
now with AI, it's like, man, you can just go on and on and on. You can't even catch up to the truth anymore.
And by the time you're done the research to figure out what is the gray area, even right, of the in between,
Yeah.
it's already evolved into something that's like unretractable.
Absolutely.
Almost.
And who wants to hear the truth? There's nothing cool about the truth.
It's true.
Right.
Nobody
The
wants
truth
the
is
truth.
boring. It's about
Yeah.
HR issues in this company, really, if you think about it, and everyone's deflecting on all the problems, and really it's a massive HR issue that this company has on their hands. But yeah, I think from being an artist previously and still, every now and then, I think that everyone's management is doing the right thing because they can do a little something and get that out there and then deflect the issue, and it's everyone else's fault. When really in reality, this person got caught in the age of this and social media where it's
Yeah, the
like
phone.
everything's in a flash. There really is no responsibility because I can walk down the street and take a video of anyone and post it anywhere at any time.
In a public place, I guess. Yeah.
And what I do in marketing and selling is, yes, I'm in music, but human behavior is my number one thing. That's what I have
Right.
to
Mhm.
understand to do what I do. So
Right.
Mhm.
I need to know why people move the way they do, why they like what they like, why they do the things they do. How do you move them? How do you, you really have to be the puppet master. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
And you can only doing that understanding how to move people around. And so I
Right.
pay attention to all these things. So let me tell you this. Now, listen, I don't want to get too deep, but I'm just going to show y'all something right here. Now, first of all, let's remember this. With black guys, it's three things they go with when they want to tear them down, right? And with white guys, there's only one thing you can go with that works, right? Black guys, the first thing they say is he's broke because they know the black culture respects money, right? And things. And if that doesn't work, they're going to say he's a snitch because they know the black culture respects that, right? And then if that doesn't work, then they go on with the big shebang. He's gay. That's the hardest one to come back from, right? But when they ready to ruin the white guy, guess what they say? He
He's cheating.
cheated. He broke up the family. That is the go-to every time when it comes to when you bring the white guy down. That's what they go with. And the reason is because if they saying he's cheating on the family, there's no way he could be trusted anywhere else.
In business or anywhere else.
You see
Yep.
what I'm saying?
Mhm. Mhm.
So even with this situation, I'm like, he's so hurt because he knows this is one he probably won't come back from. You know what I mean? Because of how it was done, is like, if he's caught cheating and nobody else knows but the wife, oh, he's dirty, whatever. But when you're on the kiss cam for the world to see, nobody gives you sympathy, dude. It's like, even the other cheaters are like, what are you doing?
Right.
Keep it on the
Right.
DL.
Well, I think too, and or even owning. I'm trying to think. There's been so many stories in the past where someone's been caught and they went full throttle into it, like they leaned into it in a way of making fun of themselves. And I think because we're, like you said in the beginning, Ken, we're not hearing some sort of like deep apology. We're hearing like a skirting, right, of like all this other noise that's probably being generated by, his press or whatever. And we're not hearing him leaning into the ridiculousness of the fact
Right,
that you
right,
literally did something.
right,
You were trying to sneak around and you were in a
right.
arena and you were up
Right.
on the,
Yeah.
It's deflecting game.
it's
Yeah.
deflection game.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
that makes it even more like the trust is destroyed.
Right.
You're right.
So even when you make mistakes, you got to do it in a way where you still have friends, right? What I mean by
Right.
that is like,
Right.
it's like the
Right.
women are like, oh, you suck, you the worst. And it's like, and dudes are like, what are you doing, man? So it's like, you don't have nobody riding with you. You know?
Right.
Let me tell you something. If he would have stood there when it came on, if he would have stood there with the girl and never moved and was just like,
Yes.
You're so right.
That's exactly what my husband said the other night.
Nobody would have tried to
Yep,
AI search
just
who he
like-
was. It was like,
but all that don't
well, she
hide.
was the one. She was the one that immediately was like,
Right.
Yeah. I've seen things happen, behind the scenes many, many times. And so is
Absolutely.
Molly.
Mhm.
And, we were out on tour with, some of the boy bands and stuff. And I think that, it's just a matter of if you're out in public and you're doing something and you get caught, I think that especially on, when you're an artist or an actor, that you got to really think about what the ramifications of that could be.
Yeah.
Because again, I've been in
or
situations
a
where
CEO in this case.
or a
Absolutely.
a renowned
Absolutely.
CEO.
Right. I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
you're a public figure for the company.
Absolutely.
Has it changed with you and your artist with the exponentially fast-paced life of social media, and now that, like you said, stories now spread faster, quicker. Has that changed your perspective of how you talk to your artists or sort of coach your artists how to handle certain situations? Like, how has it evolved for you over the years?
Well, it's just like Jenny said. It's like, hey, man, listen. There used to be a time where you could move around, have conversations, do things, have fun, kick it, and it doesn't get anywhere, right? But I'm like, now you have to live like the camera is always on.
Mhm.
Live as if the world is always watching you and see you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because that one moment, everybody's looking for a moment to sell or to become famous. That's the worst part about social media right now. Is like the people that want to be famous is like, it's never been a time like this. We all know,
No, I mean,
And
I mean,
I know in the past you've also said some things about, you're very particular with your artists.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is what I believe, Molly, and nobody can ever change my mind about this. Being great is being great. So the world can never rush your process. If you're great at what you do, the world will wait. You know what I mean? If
right.
average, then you have to stay in people's face to continue to be known. And what social media has messed up is they've gotten a superstar and the popular person confused and put them in the same room. And they never should be there because it's not the same. So if you get a star, you can move like a star. And
Right.
you tell the world what to do. The world doesn't tell stars what to do. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I tell people I don't sell product. I don't sell music. I sell people. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? So when the music is not playing, that's when I'm selling my person.
And I think that's such a good point. I mean, I was working at America's Most Wanted, and then after that, there was the beginning of the boom of reality TV.
Right.
And a lot of us were being, pulled into that world because of our background on how to interview people and how we, could cover real. If you're following a documentary, what are you doing? That's following the real thing. And so many people said, don't worry, this is just going to be a fad. When you had the Joe Millionaires coming out, when you had Survivor coming out, and it's going to pass and reality TV will die. And now it not only has it not died, it has taken over every aspect of our life, right? From influencers to the individual who's decided to be the reporter without any responsibility and film something and put it out there, to what you're saying, Ken, which is somebody who believes I deserve the attention. And I think the best thing I just heard you say in this conversation is that we all have to actually act like the world is watching now. All of us, right?
Yeah.
It used to just be if you were a high profile person, right? Whatever that might be, but we all have, with this world we live in, we all have to think all eyes are on us. We already know our phone is listening because we all get the weird ads, but
Right.
Right.
But we have
No
to, we all
doubt.
have to act like the world is watching because it has changed.
Right.
I mean, not to get too deep, but it's not even if you're an influencer or if you're in the industry or if you're an artist. Kids in high school are having things videotaped, right? And a behavior, a mistake you might have made in college, a mistake we all made in high school, right? Gets videotaped and put up there, right? And listen, we were all waiting for the phone to leave a message on our machine, you know, and
Right.
I made some terrible mistakes
Making
when I was
Xerox
younger.
copies and
Right.
stuff and taping it on
Yeah.
a
Right.
locker, and now
Right.
it's
If there-
viral in 10 seconds.
Exactly. If there was Instagram Live when I was in college and I turned 21, oh hell no.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't know if I'd have my
Yeah,
career, you know, because
absolutely.
anything could be taken out of context.
Mm-hmm. Don't get caught up in that. You can't believe the human highlight reel. You know what I mean?
And the human highlight reel, exactly. And I think going back to the Coldplay situation, what I was thinking this morning was like, okay, let's pretend in a world that they have a release for now, a release you have to sign. I'm just making this up to go in an arena. I'm sorry. What if you're taking a selfie with somebody and the person behind you is cheating?
Right.
Right? Where does it end? Where without owning it, like, but I think what keeps coming up is owning, right?
That's it.
Owning what kind of world we live in, responsibility on the individual. Like you said from the top, Jenny, gross, you know, oversight. We're going to call it oversight because sometimes we don't know, right? Is that we have an individual responsibility to understand how we're going to act every day of our lives, whether it's in public, right, or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the bottom line, because you could go on and on and on. Say, okay, no more kiss cams, no more video cams, or we're going to get releases because someone has to have responsibility. Well, then where does it end? Where does it end? I took a photo. You're behind me. I think I have a picture of me. It was at a Cubs game or something during the World Series, and my friend took a photo. And I remember there was two people behind us, and they were kissing. We thought it was really funny. Like this, how do we know they were married? We were like,
Right.
We don't know. You
Absolutely.
don't know. And I think we are living in a world where everything can be tracked.
Now listen, at the end of the day, it's like I live like this. I don't make any decision to do anything if I can't accept everything that comes with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if I make the decision, I'm willing to take everything. Like, hey, I did it. That's it. That's all this dude needs to say so we can move on. Hey man.
So we can move on. Because the story won't die, Ken.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, dude,
it
what
won't.
what are you
I
doing?
just like that you said it was a white people thing. I mean, come on. Really it is.
If it was a black guy, we wouldn't even be talking about this. But this guy here wants to cry and sue everybody, and you shouldn't put me on now. Like, dude, come on, man. You did it. It's done. It's over. Because everybody's looking for the clickbait. You know that. You
Right.
know? So everybody's looking for the excitement. And even this guy, right? Think about it. Imagine if that was a rock and roll guy or a big rap guy up there getting caught like that.
Right.
It wouldn't be that exciting. It would be like, hey, it's just a lifestyle.
Right.
But you got this real squared up guy who's supposed to be doing everything right, you know, Mr. Goody Pants. That's what's exciting about it, because it's like, yeah, we look at you. You not good. You're not better than us. You doing it too.
Unfortunately, people like to hate, no matter what you're looking at. And the reason why you're bringing up such a great point, Ken, the reason why people love this story is they want to hate the cheater.
Absolutely.
They want to hate that they worked together. They want to hate, right, that they did all those things. And the hate is what's driving the story, you know, and even the comedy of it.
Let me tell you something. When I tell people to always be honest, right? And the reason I say that, you take away all the ammunition when you're just honest all the time.
Right.
Nobody can do anything. I mean, because you already put it out there. Like,
Right.
hey, okay. You only easily put in the spotlight or become the show when you just don't want to be honest. Because then you're such an easy target. And this guy's just a easy target right now because he won't just let it go, like you're saying. Like, he's trying to do everything else but say, my bad.
Right. You brought up a huge point too. Like, I'm sorry, if it had been celebrities cheating,
Oh,
the story probably would have died in like 48 hours.
over.
Yeah.
Do it.
It's you really.
I don't know about
I don't
that.
know.
I don't know.
A million.
No.
Yeah, for
No.
sure, Molly.
Look at Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, but what didn't
That was
negative.
a huge story for years.
Yeah, but not like this.
That was a huge story for years.
I think we're talking two different things. Now, if you got two celebrities, that's big news.
Yeah.
But if you got a celebrity and some chick,
That's what I meant, Penn.
Yeah,
You're absolutely right. That's what I meant.
Yeah,
If it had been a celebrity and some chick, or that's what I'm thinking about. Who was it?
Yeah.
If it had been a celebrity and some chick, it would have been in the news for a second. But I think you brought up a really good point, Ken. It's this image
Yeah.
of two executives,
Yeah.
right? and this picture perfect,
There
you
you
know,
go.
and everybody just loves to hate.
That's
You're not
it.
perfect,
That's it.
right? And your whole job is supposed to be that you know right from wrong for her, right? And
Mhm.
his whole job is to be the face of this company. And I think you hit it right on the head there. That's why the story won't die, because it's like, oh my gosh, everybody just is like, I
Yeah.
hate you.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
You
Look,
know, as
'cause-
opposed to if it's,
yeah,
a,
because we already
a
like
celebrity with some random person, which we've seen, or the
Exactly.
nanny, which has always happened.
Right, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Because we
Yeah.
already like good at two shoes. Y'all get out of here.
Right.
You not perfect. But if you take a rock guy and then when he messes up, it's just like, yeah, that's kind of how that goes.
Right.
That's why if you look at politicians and things like that, they make bigger stories when it comes to just
Right.
doing it. Because
Right.
it's
Yeah.
something that's not supposed to happen, right?
Right.
Right.
They painted this image of, hey, I do everything right. And
Right.
I brush my teeth the same way every morning. I comb my hair the same way.
Uh-huh.
Everything is perfect over here, So you're looking for that.
Right.
I got to be honest, I look for that. I wait for one of them guys to mess up so I can say,
Oh my
yeah.
God, we all love it. Yeah. No, it's so true. There's something about the fact that somebody who is supposed to be in a morally high position,
Exactly.
it's like a preacher, like with the
I
preacher
was just
scandals.
about to say that.
You're like,
Yeah.
right? You're like, oh, I mean, like those don't die. Like but it's so
Mhm.
true. It's funny because this conversation, I think about it when I think of a preacher. I think of it when I think of a politician. But you just really shed light on the fact, Ken, that like it's also when it's a CEO
Yes.
and a female executive, especially
Oh, yeah.
because it's
Of HR.
of HR, and the fact that the truth is we're supposed to be perfect as women when we are executives. There is no doubt about it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you can't make mistakes. I don't care what anyone
Yes.
says.
Yes.
There
Mhm.
is definitely an imbalance to that.
Yes.
So now
This is-
you've got
Now here's the cool part. This is where y'all women, this is the woman thing again, right? Now all dudes are like, they're not mad at him cheating. They're mad at the way he handled it, right?
Yes.
right.
All dudes are like, come on.
And
man.
some not so good dudes are more mad that he got caught. No.
Yeah. Dudes are like, come on, man. Just say it. Just say
Own
you're
it.
sorry,
Right.
right?
Own your mistake. Yeah. I do think, though, it's funny, though, that, HR, I don't know, for the dawn of time, no offense to anybody
Right.
who's a listener in an HR, it is made fun of, right? On
Oh,
a
yeah.
grand scale. Like, I mean, I've had to deal with HR twice when I had a serious issue and they didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying there aren't great HR people out there. I'm not saying there's not great companies that have great infrastructure of HR.
Right.
But I think it's almost like an episode of like South Park or something, like the fact that she's in HR and she's the head of HR, because this is like comedy sketches, whatever. People are always making fun of HR, right? But
Yeah.
it's not really HR.
Yeah.
It's like you can't make this up. It's another reason why it's such a great story that you're like,
definitely.
you can't make this up,
She's the head of HR. And I think that at the end of the day, again, another reason that everyone wants to hate on them is because she's supposed to be the person that's protecting everyone in the company. And here
Right.
she is out there, which everyone's latched onto. Here she is out there
Jenny,
doing the opposite of what she fires people for, which
Jenny.
everyone loves to make fun of.
how could you, Jenny, you're not thinking about this now. How could you
Okay.
better take care of everybody if you with the boss? You make
You got a good point
Yeah.
there, kid.
I mean, I don't. What was that? I mean, you could go into the fact of the pillow talk alone. I mean, it's gonna be like, oh, you want to know what Johnny did today?
Hey,
At
man,
work?
Right.
I mean, like, oh, guess what? Blank and blank are hooking up. I had to fire them.
you know what, ladies? We may be looking at this all wrong. She's just an overachiever when it comes to her job. She really cares about
She wanted to take care of the people by understanding the CEO better.
Right. She was willing to go beyond to make sure
Yeah,
they were
Right.
okay.
She just wanted a better understanding of the inside
Right.
of their.
She wanted to learn all about him.
Yeah. But I do think, no matter which way you look at it, the whole moral of this whole story is, and for all of us to know, is that we are all being watched. Like, whether you are on the phone and talking to some solicitors making you angry and it's in a recorded line,
Uh-oh.
to the fact, right, you're in a public arena, to whatever. Like, we live in a world where we have to be conscious of what we are doing, conscientious of what we are
Yeah.
doing, right? And also, we have to understand that the expectation of privacy, unfortunately, has been thrown out of the window since COVID, where everybody went live on their phones. It was like, you know what I mean?
I think this all boils down to everyone has their individual responsibility.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
At the end of the day,
Yes.
Gross
Yes.
oversight
story-
is on the individual.
this story is
Yeah.
about the
An
individual and their
responsibility.
responsibility.
So this is what I want y'all to
And
do.
we all have oversight. We
Oh, yeah.
all have gross oversight in general. Ken, I have a really important question though. Okay. You need to share an gross moment with us. Okay. So we're going to tell
Yeah.
you, Mama Jan told us that she actually got worms once. And that was her gross moment. We've had people give us some big gross moments, and we've shared some big gross moments. And we need to know, we want a personal gross story for you. I see your head shaking. Come on.
I don't think this is the show for the growth, but I'm talking.
Well, it's called gross, so it
It's
definitely
called
is.
gross.
It is definitely the show. Now, if it's illegal, maybe it's not the show. But
So one time when I was younger, this is terrible. I can't believe y'all. So one time I was younger. I had this chick. We were like in our 20s, and this chick came to the house. And when she came in, she had the plastic bag, right? I was so serious. And it was like tied up. She was walking behind me, but I saw her throw this bag into the other room, like just throw it, toss it right quick. I'm like, I ain't say nothing. I'm like, what the hell was that? So we go in there, we sitting down, we chilling, watching TV, you know. And eventually I say, hey, I'm gonna go get, you want something to drink? And so I go around and I come through and I look through what she's doing. I go in and I get the bag.
oh God.
And I open the bag. It was the dirtiest pair of panties I've ever seen.
Wait, but what were you at? I have questions. Okay, I always have questions. Back it up. Were you at her house or
She
your
was
house?
at my house.
Why did she bring her dirty panties to your house? Why did she throw them outside?
I'm telling you, I don't even understand. It was crazy. I'm telling you.
Does she not
Poopy
have a
string?
purse with her? Put them in the purse. Come on, girl.
It was over right there. She had to go.
I'm just curious. Like, what's like, I get it. Everyone, maybe your garments aren't as fresh, and so you want to go throw them out in the trash before you walk in. But to take the time to tie them up in a bag and then bring them into your home, I mean, maybe it was a fetish. Maybe she was going to pull out the poopy panties later.
That's terrible.
Well, that was definitely gross.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was definitely gross.
That was terrible.
All right, Ken. So tell us, do you have any good stories with Outkast or something fun for us? Come on.
Or T.I. or Jeezy.
I'll tell you this one story. I ain't gonna say the artist.
Okay.
I ain't gonna say the artist.
Okay. Can we guess it's one of them though? Can we at least have like an elimination round?
Yeah, it probably one. It's probably one.
It's one of them. Okay. So it's either going to be Outkast, CeeLo Green, or Jeezy. Okay, got it.
Well, it might be. Yeah, okay. So we
Or
walk-
T.I. You fell for it. Go. You didn't say it. I did.
So we had this. So we out of town and we had this hotel, and it was this beautiful chick. I mean, she was beautiful, right? Downstairs at the bar, and so we're leaving, and one of our partners ended up talking to her, and she's leaving with him. Now we're coming, we're on the hotel. We get on the floor, and he's in front, she's behind him. I'm walking to my room. So all three of us are walking. My room is a little after his. All of us are walking, the girl in the middle, and all of a sudden the artist just happened to open the door. As soon as he opened the door, she looked at him and she done walked right into the door.
Oh, shafted.
And he closed the door. I'm crying, right? Because my brother still doesn't
So
know.
she rejected the artist immediately and made a hard left.
And went to the other artist.
Wait, so these are two artists that were.
Dude, hey man. And she was,
Were these two artists part of the four?
yeah, well,
We
yeah,
messed. Oh,
look,
oh,
so listen.
okay.
'Cause it was
That's
like,
pretty amazing.
It was like it came down to like who was the star, like who's really the star. You know what I'm
Who's the
saying?
bigger artist, right?
Who's the bigger
Yeah.
artist? Oh, one thing I love about superstars is they really live in their own world.
Right.
Like,
Well, because
they-
they're stars,
Mhm.
like you said. It's different.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like, but you can have that in any business, right?
Right.
because it's the person. They make
Right.
great whatever they choose to do. I mean, in the business I'm always looking for the superstar in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I tell people all the time, I say, if you have an artist or somebody you're working with, if it's not like watching the movie every time y'all out, if you don't just sit back and watch them like you're watching a movie and you're that interested,
Mhm.
9 times out of 10, it's not. Is nothing special about it, you know?
They're not star quality.
They're not star
Mhm.
quality. They don't make it. But
So now in 2025, I'm curious, like with the world evolved as it have and phones, whatever, do you like take the phones from your artists and be like, check your phone? I mean, I would. If I was in charge, I'd be like, I wouldn't let anyone have phones around them. I wouldn't have their phone. I mean, is it crazy? Are people super hypersensitive to things being taken out of context
so
constantly?
what you want to do nowadays, you want to make sure in certain settings, you only want your people there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like everybody's always looking for the moment, you know,
Mhm.
to try to sell or to try to come up off of or have the story. It's just like they go so far now for, like, even in the grocery stores, I'm seeing them like, there's these 2 guys that come just mess with people in the grocery store, just doing all this different stuff. I'm like, I said this the other day. I was like, man, I cannot wait until we get back to a place where you actually have to be good at something to be known.
Right.
You
Mhm.
know what I
Mhm.
mean? And I don't know if we're ever gonna get there again, but this goes back to what you were talking about earlier. It's like being a star, you don't let the world dictate what you do. You don't
Right.
Mhm.
you don't move on their time. Stars dictate the time and where we go,
Right.
you know? And so
Yeah.
you don't ever have to be in a rush. So when you're dealing in quality, I tell people all the time, there may be new platforms to do it on, but the way it's done is the same it's always been done.
Yeah.
You don't change that. You don't never sacrifice the quality and the time you put in something. Just do what you do, and people are gonna wait for it, and they're gonna appreciate it when it's great.
Right.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. With all the noise, it doesn't mean there still isn't great art being made. There isn't still great artists
Yeah.
out there. That there
So a
isn't.
lot of
Yeah.
dudes come in, artists like you say, "Oh, Ken, I got 500,000 followers." I say, I tell you what, get 100 of them to spend $50 with you, and then come back and tell me. What you
Right.
got, right? So
That's right.
I say
Yeah.
followers and fans are not the same. So I
Mhm.
explained
Right.
it to him like this. I say, think about this. On the highway, if there's an accident and you got all these people rubbernecking, holding up all the traffic, I said, those are followers. Now, the truck, couple of times you see the people that get out the car and try to help. I'm like, those are fans,
Right.
right? I'm like, do you see the difference in those numbers?
Mm-hmm.
When people can see someone worse than them on
Mhm.
television, they never have to deal with themselves. You see
Right.
what I'm
It's
saying?
again. Yeah.
Because they can
It's
always
escapism.
say, well, at
It's
It
like
least
why
is.
we
I'm-
like the movies.
there you go. At least
Yeah.
I ain't that crazy. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
normalizes your bad behavior when you see someone worse than you, if that makes any sense.
Right. If
Mhm.
you've been sitting across the table with another mom, because when mom groups can be terrible,
Right.
and you've been fantasizing
Yes.
about flipping the table over while you drink wine with them, and someone actually flips the table
There
over
you go.
Right.
while you're drinking wine, you're like, okay, well, I fantasized about doing it, but I didn't throw my wine in their face. Yeah, totally.
Absolutely. And that's our reality show is.
And then you know what, and Ken, but that goes right back to what you said at the beginning, where we love this story
Yeah.
because it's the idea of a CEO,
Yes.
It's supposed to be perfect, family
Yeah.
person, right? It's the same reason why reality TV does, well, we're looking at this because it's either like, oh, see, they're not perfect, so therefore I'm not falling short, or see, I'm not that bad. I just drink the wine and fantasize about spilling it all over her, and they really do it, right? It's
Mhm.
like,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, even if you think about Kanye, right? That's why Kanye, what are you gonna really do with Kanye? You can't.
Oh my God, he's like I don't care.
He doesn't
Yeah,
care.
I am what I am. You're
Mhm.
100% right. It becomes old news. He does something crazy, and you're like,
And we're like,
It's
"What's
he said I'm
Kanye.
crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Right.
Yeah,
It's
it's
true.
true.
That-
What are you gonna say?
that's
You're
it.
absolutely right.
Once you own
it's
it, it's not even news anymore.
Nobody cares if
Yep.
you're owning it. You're
That's it.
100% right. Yeah. I mean, like if Kanye came out like dressed like a half naked alien, nobody would say anything right now. They'd be
Right.
like, oh, that's Kanye.
That's Kanye.
It's a new
Yeah.
look.
That's Kanye. Now, Jenny, you had a story. What was your growth story?
Oh
you was
yeah,
about
read
to
Jenny, your
tell?
story.
So I got one little story to wrap this up for us, and it's a cute and funny story about Ken in the studio.
I'm ready. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember it. So Molly was there. It was Molly and myself and Megan. So it was when Intrigue was the group, the three of
Yep.
us.
Yep.
I think that we were maybe recording a song that you wrote for me or something.
Uh-huh.
And so we were in the studio, and it was one of those days where we weren't in the big room. We were in the small room
Okay.
because you were also there with, I want to say J-Bo was there,
Okay.
and I think Bone Crusher had come by for something, and Floaty was there,
Okay.
I think. But I remember there was a group of guys that were always in and out of the studio just, doing their own projects, doing business, So me, Molly, and Megan had to go to the bathroom. And Ken and I'm telling you, we would always cut up, and even if we weren't in the same studio together, we would be out somewhere laughing.
Right. Definitely.
And so if he saw that I wasn't somewhere, he would, go see where we were so we could laugh. Well, we're all in the bathroom together. And all of a sudden,
Ken's in the bathroom with you, or Megan? you and
no,
Molly?
me, Molly, and Megan. Me,
Okay.
Molly, and Megan in the bathroom.
You know how girls go to
Girls
the
go-
bathroom?
yeah,
in
go to the
groups?
bathroom
No, I
together.
get it.
Yeah,
That
so
I
we're in, like,
revision.
yeah.
I was just clarifying.
Yeah, yeah.
That
Yeah,
Ken
so
is
we're-
not in the bathroom with the
Yeah,
girls.
it's
Ken is
just
not
the
about-
ladies.
But we hear this rustling outside the door. And we were like, what is that? What is that sound out there? So we're listening, and we could hear like this whole group of guys outside the bathroom door. So we got really quiet. And then we could hear the rustling get more intense. Like you could hear the ears like going up against the door. So I opened the door really quick. And they were all like, ah! I said, what are y'all doing? And they all start laughing, and they're like, we want to know what you're doing in there. Like, why are you doing this? Like, what are you doing?
Safety in numbers.
So we all start laughing. It was so funny. They were like guys always wonder this about women. So we were just like,
Big
let's
mystery.
go see what they're doing in there together.
Just take off
Do you
and go.
remember that?
Hey, look, just take off and go to the restroom together. But look,
Yeah.
I think that they were hoping for a better story.
Nope.
Was
I
what
do
was
too.
going on.
Oh, they were.
They
They totally were.
They were hoping that there was a reason you were congregating in the restroom. That's a different
Right.
podcast, so we're not going to say what, but I think all of the listeners can sort of, it's a different.
I know
it's
they
a-
were probably disappointed at our
Yeah, it's a-
answer.
Right.
It'll be our spinoff.
I'm telling you,
gross.
dude, the first time I went to the restroom where men and women can go in,
unisex or all gender.
right? And so I asked the dude that owned the club, I'm like, why did you do it like this? He said, man, men keep the restroom clean when women can come in too.
No, we did.
Oh,
Ken, no.
yes.
We just did an episode on Gross
Yeah.
about this. There was a study that was done, and they had how often is the soap refilled in the men's bathroom by washing your
Yes.
hands, and how often is it refilled in the women's bathroom? And it was like once a month for the men,
Oh,
and it
yeah.
was almost daily for the women.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
yes.
that totally makes sense. And I know that a couple of establishments are doing that. They're not necessarily unisex bathrooms, but it's like the middle part
middle
where you
part,
wash your hands
Yeah.
is any gender.
Yeah.
And it's really funny, but there is a philosophy that it requires less cleanup because of that.
It
That's
does.
so funny.
It's true.
No, that is a great gross story. Very true. No, it's true.
Yeah.
So true. I
Yeah.
mean, listen, you got to
Look-
keep it tidy for the ladies.
Hey, ladies, well, I
Yes.
sure appreciate y'all, man.
So, Ken, this has been such a pleasure. I mean, so amazing. I mean, let alone your insight, obviously, but just the stories in general. And I think we've all got our takeaways, right? We, from now on, just know somebody's watching us.
Somebody,
Yes.
somebody's
I
watching.
always feel like.
Yes, exactly.
That's
I
it.
was just about to
That
go there.
is
Yes.
it. That
That's
is
it.
it. That is it. So, Ken, before you leave, tell us what you're working on now.
Oh, well, I got a new season of the Pretty Ken show coming out next month. I'm putting it out through YouTube.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I'm going to start that and get that going and talking to some amazing people. I got a book coming out next month.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't curse though on here, but the book is really nice. It's really cool. It's called The Art of Effing Up. You know what I mean?
I love that.
I love that.
I love that.
It's about making the right effort will get you in the right position.
Well, that's what this whole episode was about. Like the
Yeah.
art of effing up. Own it.
Yeah.
There you
Own
go.
it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect way to
But you
go
got
full
to.
circle.
You got
Ken.
the effort to get to where you're trying to go.
Yep. Yep.
There's
Yep.
no way around it.
And you got your audience members here for when you
Oh, I love
film
it.
your
Look,
show.
let me tell you something. I already know what I'm gonna call y'all on. I got this one show I want to do on the feminist movement.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Uh-oh, Ken.
There you
I
go.
know- Uh-oh,
Can
look.
you
Yeah, I know the ringleader. I know who ready to start, so.
Kara's flying in for that one.
Listen, let's go toe to toe.
Oh, man.
Yay.
I love it, man. Y'all so easy
Yeah.
to get riled up. I love it.
Yeah.
That's what he
Well,
loves.
It
That's
has been
it.
amazing.
I
Well, we will
live for.
definitely be in that audience, and we're excited for it.
Hey, man, I
And thank you for
appreciate
sharing your stories. And, you didn't say it, but just I did say it because I think I guessed who the artist was in your story.
Hey, well, y'all
Amazing.
something else. Y'all are something else, man.
And try to keep those gross moments to a minimum. Stay away from anybody with dirty panties.
I know
Yeah,
it. Oh,
yeah.
terrible, man. Terrible, man. Oh, my God. I think that was payback for me, though. I'm
You
pretty
probably were owed some payback.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've been a terrible guy on my days.
But see, he's owning it. He
Oh,
owns
yeah.
it.
Owning
That's
it.
why
Right,
we
he's
love
owning
him.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
He's
owning
owning
it.
it.
He's mastering the art of fucking up.
That's it.
He is.
I don't run from it. I run to it.
Speaking of social media and how everybody is watching you, make sure to tap, follow us, right, on the podcast if you haven't already, because we need you to keep watching us.
And so some social media is not great, but ours is. So be sure that you follow us at It's Oh Gross wherever you get your social media.
Well, I don't know about you, but I was laughing so hard, so I think I forgot to take all the notes during this episode. So for more on Ken Stokes, a.k.a. Pretty Ken, please head over to our website, ogross.com.
Oh, gross. That drama's about to end, 'cause gross. Stop asking for a friend, taboos. Icky's what we do. Psoriasis, podiatrist, and pinworms too. It's so gross. No need for strife, because gross. Life is part of life, it's just science. Yeah, it's not so weird. We got the facts, nothing to fear. Oh, gross. It's just science, no, it's not weird. It's just science, nothing to